So, I hear we're into some of the same stuff.
You are about to join the revolution.
The time has come. Your world will never be the same. You are listening to a sophisticated conversation.
Greetings and welcome to episode number 55 of Podcast Revolution. I'm your host John, Johnny T, the Turk, JT, and so on. Joining me via Skype from Germany is my co-host Tab. Tab, say hello.
Hey, everybody.
Okay, that's not hello, that's hey everybody, that's fine. And
Fuck you.
joining us from over in Arizona is my buddy Dan Swan. Swanee, how are you?
Doing all right, representing T-Lock.
T-Lock, excellent.
Tucson.
All right, so how is it over there?
It's fucking hot, dude. It's like 100 degrees out in the middle of the night.
Okay, it's slightly cooler over here in New Hampshire.
I bet it's pleasant there. It's warm here, but it's also kind of nice. You got the monsoons blowing through, so it's a very pleasant time to be in Tucson.
Tab, is it pleasant over there in Germany?
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay. So, now that we've gotten the weather situation under control.
All under control.
All under control. Let's talk about how we've been doing since the last episode. Tab, what have you done in the last month?
I got married.
You got married to your Xbox, correct?
Yes.
Yes, since the last episode you have procured Xbox Live.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been married to it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like J-Russ when he got an Xbox.
Yeah, except I own more than one game.
Good point. How about you, Dan Swan? What have you been up to for the last month?
Last month was July, right?
Correct. It's still July.
I was in New Hampshire, actually, at the beginning of the month for a couple days.
Well, it was nice for you to come by and visit.
Sorry, man. I apologize. I had a busy schedule. And then I came back here and broke up with my girlfriend. So that's kind of...
You are by far the biggest faggot I know.
And now I'm living the life, man.
Alright, so, the single life, how's that going for you?
Say again?
How's the single life for you?
Single life is not too bad, but Tucson is not a very easy place to pick up the ladies, especially in the summertime, because most of the girls are at the University of Arizona, and there's like 40,000 students there. Most of them go home during the summer, so it's a bit dry here.
Check them for STDs.
Yeah, no STDs during the summer.
So
Or
now,
any other time.
Now that all the girls are gone, do a lot of guys come up to you and say something like,
It's all tonight. I'm gonna grow your dick like a chia pet.
Actually, I heard that tonight out at the club. It was kind of disturbing.
I apologize. Oh, you have my sympathies.
Thank you.
Alright, so, usually, for those of you, if this is your first time listening to the show, we usually start talking about random stuff and don't stop until the show's over.
And how long does the show go on for, John?
Typically, an average run is approximately 55 minutes.
Okay.
So we'll discuss some things, then go into commercial break, then come back. And we usually save email for later in the show, but I figured this one, we'll do email a little earlier.
Okay.
Alright, so I got this email from Jimmy. And it's filled with errors. It says...
Oh, it must be a good one.
Dear Paw to Paw Podcast Resolution. And yes, that's resolution, not revolution.
Okay.
I really can't stand Dub's terrible laugh. I think he means Tab. It just looks like I'm having an asthma attack. Like he's just breathing really loud and heavily. He should probably go to a doctor and get himself checked out for Asperger's syndrome, you guys mentioned in an earlier episode, since by the spelling it sounds like they're the same type of thing, which I didn't know before. You guys should talk about how Dub is stupider than Bud. It says Budundy. I think it means Bad Andy.
Bad Andy.
Yeah, signed Jimmy.
Well, I'm kind of new to the show. Can I get an example of this heinous laugh that he's talking about?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know exactly which laugh he's doing that makes it sound like he's having an asthma attack.
An asthma attack? Is that like an Asperger's attack, or is it more like an asthma attack?
Well, ass bag ass. Well, Jimmy, we apologize for Tab's terrible laugh, or Dub's terrible laugh, as you put it. So, Dub, you need to change your ways. All right. Very good. All right, so that's our only email. So no,
That's quick.
nothing else. All right.
If you had to model your laugh after somebody, who would you model it after?
Elmer Fudd.
That'd be a good one.
Eh.
Eh,
That's kind of like a Peter Griffin, but not
not quite.
It's a little more classic. Who would you model your laugh after?
I think Martin McFly from Back to the Future, where he goes, ah, 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 ah. It's almost like the Count from Sesame Street, but
All right. Tab, if you could change your laugh, how would you do it?
I think I'd model mine after Liam Neeson, just because he has that like neat, gruff voice. So if I could laugh like that, I'd be raking in the poon.
All right, well, maybe you should do that to satisfy not only the poon, but Jimmy.
I'll start smoking right away.
Very good. Very good. All right, so I have a topic I'd like to discuss. That recently this week I saw an article that listed 6 or 7 different reasons why DVDs should be defunct soon.
mm-hmm.
And I can't remember some of the reasons, but some of them are DVDs are too loud, they use too much energy, they take up too much space, and so on and so forth. How do you guys react? Do you think DVDs are going to be extinct soon? And by DVDs, I mean any disc format, like Blu-rays included.
I think physical media is on the way out for sure, and everything's going to be streaming or on clouds or whatever they're calling it. And I think Netflix knows it, and that's why they doubled their price this last month, because they've got the market by the balls, and that's the direction it's going right now.
Okay. We'll talk about Netflix again in a minute. Tab, how do you feel about the disc issue?
I completely agree that we're going to go, kind of a media-free, and I'm not media, but you know what I mean.
Disc-free, physical media-free.
Yeah, but the only issue with that, and this is the part that I feel is going to cause the problems, is how are they going to still, how do you buy a movie in a format that's not on a physical media, but also can't be just easily replicated and pirated?
That's true. That's a good point. And also, what's going to happen to stores like GameStop, which that's fine with me if GameStop goes out of business, but it looks like they'll be out of business in 10 years, if that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if games are not available in physical form, there's nothing they can do to rape their customers anymore.
Yep. They'll go the way of Blockbuster, and I mean, Redbox is doing pretty well right now, but again, I don't think that's going to last 10 years either.
Redbox is going to have to switch to Netflix-style streaming as well.
Yep.
But it is funny how people have reacted to the Netflix price raise. Like, they're acting like Netflix is worse than Hitler.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's I guess it's our market at work, like you get people hooked on a product, and then when you don't have any more competitors, you can charge whatever you want for it because people are going to pay.
Well, for those of you who don't know, what Netflix has done is it used to be $9 or $10 a month to get one DVD sent out at a time and watch unlimited streaming. And now they've split up the plan, so streaming is $8 and DVDs are $8 too, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get both, but you have to buy them each separately. So that's like $16 for both. But
yeah, but is there like a difference in the selection between the two?
Yeah, almost everything's available on DVD. Only certain things are on streaming. But streaming is, in the future, everything's going to be on streaming.
Yeah, I think so.
And there's a pretty good selection on streaming anyways.
There is, but if I may voice my displeasure about one selection that is no longer streaming, and it's the movie It Might Get Loud, which is a fantastic electric guitar documentary, and I was very sad to see that not streaming recently.
It could come back. Sometimes stuff goes away, then comes back.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
That all has to do with licensing. I'm sad because King of Kong isn't on there anymore. But, pretty much, but Netflix is being upfront with its customers and saying why they've raised the price and changed the structure, whereas your cell phone company just adds on different rates without telling people, and people seem to be fine with that.
True. You said we were going to be talking about. I mean, are we talking about Netflix now, or are we going to talk about it later?
Yeah, we can talk about it now. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I also heard Walmart's supposed to be.
Oh yeah, that's
doing
true.
a new streaming service.
That's like Voodoo or Voodoo, right?
I don't know. I haven't gotten the details yet. I just know they want to do streaming and they want to charge less than Netflix.
Yes, I believe it's VUDU, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's a site that they bought a little while ago, but now they're integrating it into the Walmart website. But if you watch it from the Walmart website, it's only standard definition. If you watch it from its actual site, you can do high def stuff.
Okay.
But I don't know. That's about all I know about that software. Tab, you could do some research and look into it.
Into what?
Never mind. All right. Moving on. Let's see, what time are we looking at? All right, looks like it's just about time for a commercial break. So we'll do that, and we'll be right back after this.
Are you ready to stand up and fight for your country? Well, now's your chance with the National Guard. National Guard answers the call at home.
You will get chipped out.
The incredible versatility of the National Guard enables its troops to respond to domestic emergencies, combat missions, counter-drug efforts, reconstruction missions, and more at home.
You will get chipped out.
You'll answer the call from the state governor or directly from the President of the United States. We're always there. You'll serve your community, your state, and your country at home.
Another country.
Here's a troop before he got enlisted.
Well, I figure that my combat skills from playing World of Warcraft 24 hours a day, 6 days a week, would translate pretty well. So I figured I'd join the National Guard.
And here's what the troop looked like just 15 days later.
Fuck yeah, National Guard. Every day, sex with chicks, cause I'm in the fucking National Guard. Bench pressing buses, fucking whores. Yeah, National Guard.
You will be prepared to mobilize when directed by the President. So what can the National Guard do for you? Whatever is needed, wherever it is needed.
Probably in another country.
Join the National Guard. Yeah.
All right, and we're back. Wasn't that an informative commercial? So, Dan, how's your experience on the podcast so far?
It's been great so far. I'm sad to say that I haven't really listened in before, but I was excited for the opportunity when you asked me to be on the show. So.
All right, well, we have 54 episodes before this one, plus 3 specials, so you can do a marathon.
If I start now, I'll be done by the end of the year, I think.
You might be. And that would be the longest marathon of the show. Tab did one for about 40 episodes before.
Jesus.
And
Yeah, I'm planning on repeating that stunt for the 100th episode. It'll take me 3 days straight to listen to them all, but I'm up for it.
There are quite a few episodes. Oh yeah, Dan, we got an email a few episodes ago where the emailer thought that our the guests on the show were just characters that we made up.
Oh, no, I am an actual existing person.
That explains why you're not interesting, like Cages.
Exactly.
Just messing with you, Dan.
It's cool.
All right, so, Tab, you said you had something you wanted to discuss.
I did?
You did.
I don't remember what it was at all.
Amy Winehouse.
Katie Winehouse. Yeah, Katie Winehouse.
And what about this Katie Winehouse?
All I know is she died, and I guess she was a musician. Like, I honestly don't give a shit or no?
Dan, would you want to give some background to the situation?
Well, I was never a big Amy Winehouse fan, and I think the only song that anybody knows by her is probably Rehab. And she died at 27 years old, which unfortunately puts her in this unique club called the 27 Club. Basically,
isn't that club typically reserved for good musicians, though?
Exactly, and to put her with Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, who else was on?
Who?
Brian Jones from Rolling Stones originally.
Yeah.
He was on there too. And those are all really good musicians, and I just can't put her with that group of musicians. And
you can't forget Johann Sebastian Bach belongs in that group too.
Does he?
No.
Okay. How old was he?
I think with him, 27 is the number of kids that he had, and that's only a slight exaggeration.
Johann Sebastian Bach. We're gonna Wikipedia this shit right now.
We're all hitting Wikipedia right now.
I can't find it. It's not right there. I gotta do math here. Let's see.
I don't believe you.
Oh wow. Yeah, he was old. He was like 65.
65.
Yeah, I'm just looking up the Wikipedia 27 Club.
Yeah. Go ahead. Rattle them off.
Robert Johnson, Brian Jones, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain. Katie Winehouse is on the list.
Fucking no, she's in the top ones now. See, she does not belong there. She was in the bottom.
It's funny. It's there's the club, and then there's like the other people who died at 27. She should be on that list.
Yeah, she was on that list the day after she died, and now she's been promoted to this like really good list.
Yeah, the problem is like I don't know music at all, so like I pretty much know like 3 people on the list at all, like including the top ones.
That's okay.
Anyway, that's my gripe, is that she doesn't belong with this top list of musicians. I mean, it's awful that she died, but she obviously had issues with drugs.
I like how like the top list, none of them died from like, a natural accident or a car crash. No, they're just drugs, and stupid shit.
Yeah.
It's like how terrible they died so young. Of course they died so young. The dumb fucking drug addicts.
Yeah.
Good point. All right, actually, Tab, I don't know if you know this, but what was the international reaction to Katie Winehouse's death?
As far as I'm aware, there wasn't one.
Yeah, what do the Germans think?
I don't think the Germans think a damn thing.
All right, then how did the Germans react to the Norway massacre?
I got a question like that from, I think, another one of my friends, like, as if, like, there's gonna be, like, this huge difference. Like, no, they're just, like, whatever, like, that's terrible, but I don't know.
Well, pretty much as far as I know, nobody over here gave a shit about that. Everyone was just like, oh my god, Amy Winehouse is dead.
They were distracted by Katie Winehouse dying.
Yes. So, Tab, which celebrity death has affected you the most in your life?
Probably Bill Cosby.
He's still alive.
Yeah, but when he dies, it'll suck.
All right. Well, which one that has happened has affected you the most?
I don't know. No one's really died that I've given a shit about. Like, call me when Andy Griffith dies, maybe, or Tim Allen from alcoholism.
Okay, fair enough. How about you, Dan? Which celebrity death has affected you significantly?
I'm racking my brain right now. I got to get back to you on that one.
Okay. So not Ryan Dunn?
Not Ryan Dunn. Bret the Hitman Hart? No. What? Not Bret the Hitman Hart.
Macho Man?
No, yeah, Macho Man was awful. I remember...
You're making my dick wet!
Macho Man died the same day that the world was supposed to end, according to that religious group. But, so I saw pictures of, like, Macho Man was up in heaven laying the smackdown on, like, Jesus or something, and that's the reason the world didn't end.
Actually, I think the celebrity death that affected me the most was when Jesus died.
Yeah, man, he was huge back in the day.
Yeah. How old is... Oh, he was 33. I was about to say, I thought maybe he was 27.
27. I think he was part of the 27 Club, for sure.
But no, his death affected me the most because now people won't shut up about it. So I wish they would, but they won't.
Man, I can't think of a celebrity off the top of my head that's...
What about Michael Jackson? Did that affect you?
No, absolutely not.
Did it have an inverse effect on you and actually make you very happy?
I was indifferent.
Okay.
Oh, John, remember when Bernie Mac died?
Oh, I do recall. Do you want to reenact that conversation?
No, you can tell the story though.
No, you got this.
Okay, so me and one of my other friends, Pat, we were on campus in New Hampshire, and we were at a little, snack shop. We were getting some milkshakes, and Johnny T showed up, and he told us how Bernie Mac died from pneumonia, and I immediately started cracking pneumonia jokes.
It's probably one of those things that you have to be there where it's a lot funnier.
Yeah.
But
it really just from an outside perspective, it just sounds like I was very cruel about a man's death.
Yes, from an outside perspective.
I got a couple good ones here.
Go for it.
Billy Mays.
Oh,
that one was actually pretty heartbreaking. I just bought his slider set.
Man, I was all about the OxyClean.
9 threes. Well, sure enough, Billy Mays threw in the 4th one for free.
Exactly.
Hey-o. Steve Irwin. This is a good one.
He faked
that
it.
That did suck.
I think he faked it. We never saw the video.
I was actually really affected by Dale Earnhardt's death.
I only recently learned, like maybe a couple of years ago, that there was Dale Earnhardt and a Dale Earnhardt Jr. I never really thought about that there was more than one guy. I just kind of combined the two in my head.
So clearly you're not invested in hick culture.
Clearly not. I mean, I'm not living in Arizona.
Actually, do they care about NASCAR over in Arizona?
Not really, no. They got one race, I think, up in Phoenix, but I don't think there's a huge NASCAR following here because Mexicans don't watch NASCAR.
They just steal cars.
Yeah, in South Tucson, that's kind of like the thing to do.
And that's why they have all those laws that say Mexicans don't belong in Arizona, right?
Right, SB 1070. We can talk about that one at some point.
Even on the on the baseball team, they still check their papers when they're trying to steal second base.
Exactly, yeah. It's like check in with the first baseman that you're legally here, and then you can steal second base. Continuing on, George.
You have to go through passport control, customs to get to second base. They're really cautious that some of their baseball players are actually pregnant women, and so they'll get to second base and have their kid there, and then it'll be a second base citizen.
Ha ha ha.
Ding. Wait.
Joke.
Yeah.
You are by far the biggest faggot I know.
Sorry.
George Harrison, Fred Rogers, Johnny Cash.
Ronald Reagan.
RoboCop.
RoboCop. Oh, that was awful. Yeah, I'd say that's like top 10. Even though I only rattled up 6 or 7.
Okay.
George Carlin.
Yes, he passed.
That was awful. Talk close to your microphone there.
Say what?
You're quiet.
My thing must have messed it up.
All
Alright, is that better? No?
A little bit.
A little soft.
Okay. Well, we'll go to a commercial, and then we'll come back, and maybe it'll fix itself.
All right. This is Chent Huntsberg reporting on WFRY from McDonald Land. We have a breaking news story. $10 trillion worth of burger stolen from the Wall Street Burger Exchange. Prime suspect at this time is the ham murderer or ham burglar. Also in connection with the Mayor McCheese and Officer Big Mac murders, where they were brutally eaten. We have Ronald in studio right now to get his reaction on the situation. Ronald?
Thank you, Chet. It's so terrible. All my friends are either being murdered or are suing me for the sum of several $1 billion worth of McDonald's food. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to handle this. I mean, first Grimace sues me, then Mayor McCheese was eaten, and now Officer Big Mac. I mean, I was lucky enough to get a leave of absence from the prison so I could come to this show. My life is so stressful now.
Of course, he's talking about the court proceedings with Grimace, and actually getting right now, breaking news, Grimace, at the age of 27, the ripe age of 27, has been murdered. He was sucked, his insides were sucked out by a milkshake straw, is what our crack team's reporting right now. I believe Ham-Murder is suspect number one yet again. Ronald, another one of your friends has died.
This is so terrible. I mean, first, there's so much loss in my life right now. But on the bright side, at least I'm not being sued anymore. I mean, that's how it works, right? Like, he's dead, so I'm good. But I promise, I say now to the police officers of McDonaldland that I will contribute everything you need to help you in the apprehension and imprisonment of this grievous perpetrator of terrible acts. I will serve you to the end to capture him.
If the Hamburglar was here right now, what would you have to say to him?
I would have to say, somebody grab that murdering motherfucker, cause he's the Ham-Murderer. It's terrible. I've got post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Well, it turns out we actually have him here online. Ham-Murderer, could you please report on this latest murder of Grimace, age 27, and the Wall Street Burger Exchange theft?
1 second, Chet. I need to finish my Grimace shake. I like blowing bubbles in my shake. Alright. Grimace. All that fat really paid off. Thank you, Ronald. Thank you so much for making him fat. It's your fault, but thank you. Anyways, I got all my trillion burgers here, and I'm ready to skip town.
I'm just curious, Hamburglar, was that $10 trillion worth of burger meat wired, or did you physically steal that amount of burger patty? It seems like it would be a very difficult amount of product to move.
Well, I'd have to say it was wired.
And do you wire burger meat to offshore account in the Caymans, or, how does one typically go about wiring burger meat?
Well, if you want to talk about wiring burger meat, you need to go to the McDonald's special agent forces, and that's where they teach you how to wire meat. And then package it.
Ronald, what do you have to say about taking your own business practices and using them to steal trillions of dollars worth of burger meat?
This is libel. This is heinous to say that he was trained by McDonaldland Special Forces to do such terrible crimes is blasphemous. I completely deny everything he just said. That's impossible. It's impossible. He definitely didn't use special ops McDonaldland training to kill that other guy. Oh no.
Well, Ham-Murder, do you feel like Ronald should have his... Oh, excuse me. Having a little lapse here. Should Ronald be sort of looking behind his back right now? Is he going to be murder number 5?
Well, I do need some buns for my meat. I heard there's sesame seeds on them buns. I'll be back. Bye.
Well, there you have it, folks. The Ham-Murderer speaking on the deaths of Mayor McCheese, Officer Big Mac, Grimace, the $1 trillion burger heist from the Wall Street Burger Exchange, and Ronald's probable murder in the near future. To support the families affected by this tragedy, please visit your local McDonald's. The money won't go to the families, but McDonald's is very delicious. Any last words, Ronald, before we cut here?
All right, wasn't that an informative commercial? All right, so looks like we're going to get into one of our popular segments on the show that we weren't going to do today, but then Dan showed up, so we said, you know what? Damned if we don't do this show. So, and Tab was pretty upset, so we figured
We're like
we'd satiate.
damned if we don't.
Yeah, damn it.
All right, so the way this segment works, for those of you who've never listened before, and Dan, is I'll ask you both a series of questions, and you answer them to the best of your abilities, and try to give the most sound advice.
Okay, sounds
and
good.
points will be awarded based on how well you answer. And the winner gets a very big prize. All right.
All right.
First, who wants to go first? Tab, you're the reigning champion. Do you want to go first or allow Dan to start?
I always like the fresh meat to go first.
All right, fresh meat. All right. First question. The title is, How Do I Know If I'll Make It in College? All right. I will actually post this to you guys in the conversation so you can actually read it as I'm reading it too.
Oh, hey, all right.
There we go. All right.
Well, let me...
Just click that little button so you can read it. All right. It's the little thought bubble.
Shoot, I can't find Thought Bubble, but that's okay.
Here, I'll send it to you over here. There you go. All right. Tab, do you have access to it?
Yep.
Okay. I had a hard time in high school. Most of the time, I would copy off of my best friend in math, science, and in English. I'm starting college in about a month, and I don't think I'm going to be able to succeed. ? For some reason. Is there any way I can make myself do good? Is there any way I can motivate myself? Help!
Well, you probably fail English, but
Probably.
if you're going to engineering school, that's okay because you don't have to take an English class. So that's food for thought. But as far as
Now, John,
you're interrupting Dan, so you already get
Dan.
-5 points. But go ahead.
For what?
No. Tab gets -5.
Oh, okay.
I'm just curious. Is this just an artifact of you posting it, or is it really every word starts in uppercase letters?
Every word starts in uppercase letters.
Oh my! Go ahead,
Where's
Dan. I'm sorry.
the Thought Bubble. Now I'm curious. Feel like I'm missing out on something.
No, just answer the question.
All right. Well, if you become proficient enough at cheating off your friends in high school, you will be fine in college because there are plenty of people to cheat off of. And college is kind of a joke, actually. I would say in high school, all the teachers are like, oh, I'm just preparing you for college. And then you get there and the professors show up late, give you a syllabus with everything you need to know on it, and you'll be fine.
Okay. Is that your full response?
That's my full response.
All right, Tab, how do you react?
Well, I think there's really only a single easy way to make sure that you do well in college. I think you can do yourself good. And the best way to do that is a blackmail. I think you probably don't have the mental facilities to do well in college, but you do have the mental facilities to purchase a gun and kidnap the family members of your professors and buy a camera. So you just do that, and you send some photos, and you just kind of go, hey, how about you give A+ to me, and your family won't be murdered. And the next thing you know, you'll be graduating with a degree in women's lit or something. Equally stupid.
Very good. Very good.
That was a very good response. If I can just follow up, well, this doesn't factor into my scoring at all, but if you kill your roommate, or if he somehow mysteriously dies, you get A's for the semester, I believe. So that's also something to keep in mind.
Very good. I will have to admit that I didn't listen to Tab's answer this time. Because I was busy reading the next question. So, Dan, you win.
All right.
And Tab, you're still at -5.
On a roll. How many points do you get for winning a question?
All right. No.
Is it arbitrary?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Here's the next question, which is actually a very simple question. All right. I get very angry when my 2 kids fight, and when I don't get what I want, I always hit my kids. Why? All right, Tab, please react.
Well, you see, hitting your children is never the fault of the parent. It's also actually not the fault of the children. The cause is simple. Dinosaur ghosts. That's right. The major cause of any type of abusive relationship, either it be between, a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, or even parents and children, it's usually caused by spiritual possession by dinosaurs. So what I suggest you do is go to your local Catholic church, go to a priest, and ask them for a dinosaur exorcism, because otherwise those dinosaurs are just going to keep making you hit your kids whenever you get angry, and they'll probably also influence you to drink. Although, if you drink enough alcohol, it will suppress your ability to remember hitting your kids, and that might be just as good a solution, because some people think having dinosaurs possess you is pretty badass. So, depends on, if you want to get fucked more. I don't know.
Okay, moving on.
Dan, your response?
Dan?
I'm not really sure if I can follow that up, but my response would be that your parents probably didn't love you. And that's all I have to say about that. You can't beat dinosaur spirits.
Okay, well, I don't care for the dinosaur argument, so no points will be awarded for this match.
All right.
All right, here's the next one, which is my mom won't let me get my belly button pierced, so I did it myself, and now I can't find a belly button ring anywhere, and I don't have any money. So what advice would you give this young lady?
There's no question there. There's no question.
No, there's no question. So give some advice.
My advice would be not to become a tattoo artist or body piercing specialist.
Tab?
Well, I think there's one really easy way to get money for body piercings. Is to do body piercings for all your friends, just while they're asleep, or if they wake up in the middle of it, just use some chloroform. And when they wake up, you're like, congratulations, I pierced your belly button. That'll be $50. And then you use that money to buy yourself a belly ring. And you'll have money.
All right, Dan?
I already said my answer.
Okay.
You want me to...
Well, it wasn't very memorable, so Tab wins.
Okay.
All right. Tab wins 30 points. All right. Here's the next question. I like to think about names for if I ever have kids, and I really love the name Alexi for a boy, but a lot of my friends say it sounds like a girl's name. Would this be an okay name for a boy? Thank you for answers.
Sirs. If you were from Moldova, that would be great. But since you're not from, or is Moldova or Moldova? Since you're American, it's probably not a name I would go with, unless you have some Russian family background.
Okay. Tab, what do you have to say?
Well, I think you're not really going far enough with this. I mean, I'm sure Alexi does sound like a good name, and your friends are kind of right. It does sound like a girl's name, but I feel like if you're going to go this way, you should go full out. You should give him a name like Veronica or something that's just not even excusably a boy's name, or call him something like, I don't know, like Samantha or something. Just kind of like where it's just like people can be like, wait, what were you trying to do? And you're like, I was just trying to fuck my kid's life up. And that way they'll respect you, because you don't take shit from anybody, especially your kids whose lives you ruin.
Okay, sounds good.
A little Boy Named Sue reference there?
I don't think he's aware of that.
No? Okay.
I am aware of that, actually. So fuck you, John.
I apologize. Alright, question. This one I won't even bother typing because it's so quick, and it's one that's been on the show before. What is a boner?
No.
Any response? And these are actually on the Advice Column websites, so I'm not making this question up. So, Tab, what is a boner?
Well, this is interesting. This is actually relevant to a previous answer I gave. So sometimes in young children, they can be possessed by dinosaur bones, and it causes just, these bones take kind of a semi-solid form in parts of their body, and it makes them commit acts of violence on people with wherever the bones happen to possess. So if you ever find yourself with a boner, a dinosaur bone infection, I guess would be how I'd phrase it. You should just get it amputated. You won't have that problem anymore, because then there won't be a place for the bones to go.
All right, Dan, what is a boner?
A boner is when a leprechaun climbs up your penis and is actively searching for gold. Actually, this is medical truth. And when he's found that gold, he gets really excited and just starts like foaming from the mouth. But it's not like foamy. It's sort of a more
sticky.
Yeah, kind of like a conditioner, sort of. And
oh my,
very consistent residue there.
And that is leprechaun happiness. Actually, comes in that form. So that's what a boner is.
All right, Dan, you win this one.
All
right. Second to last question, and here we go. I will read it in just a moment. Okay. I've done a lot of things sexual, but I've never really had real intercourse. When I was young, I had a quick fix with an ex, but I'm not even sure if he went that deep. I'm a little scared if I have sex, I will bleed or something if the guy goes deep. But one of my fears is prevention. I've never had sex with a condom, and I am a very worrisome person. I've been reading tips online, but my nerves won't calm. I'm scared that even if I use a condom, something bad will happen. I cannot afford birth control, and my parents would surely go ballistic. I know how to be responsible, and I feel ready now. Any advice?
Never use a condom when having sex.
Is that it?
End of story.
All right, Tab?
First off, I don't believe I've ever heard the term quick fix to describe a quickie, I guess would be what she actually meant. But I'm going to have to start using that more on the show, the term quick fix. So you're worried that you're going to bleed if a guy goes deep. Now is this like a relative term, or are you being objective? Like, are we talking about like he's going to like destroy your ovaries deep, or just in? Because it seems like you don't really understand your own genitals, I guess. What I suggest you do is you go to your doctor and ask them for some vaginal extension surgery, because that will probably help. And that way also there's no way the sperm will ever reach your eggs, because it'll be like miles of tubing. It'll be like, just what you should do is you should connect your vagina to your intestines, and the other end of your intestines to where your eggs are. So that way there's no way they'll be able to pass through all of the digestive fluids and yards upon yards of tubing. I think that's really the only way you can do this without, because if you can't afford birth control, you have to do something different to protect yourself.
Right. And to follow up on that, I guess if you can't afford surgery, you could probably just stick like a ruler or yardstick, whatever you have handy, into your vagina.
Or dinosaur bone.
Or dinosaur bone. Because that's how they used to, measure distances. They would take the royal dinosaur bone and and use it. So, it's like, it's about 175 dinosaur bones to my neighbor's house. But you could probably get a good gauge for how deep really is. Simple ruler. And you'd probably accomplish two things at once.
Okay, very good. All right. I will say you both did a great job, and I will multiply both of your scores by 0.01. All right. So
that doesn't help anybody. I mean, not that I'm complaining, of course. I respect you, Judge Master.
Thank you. All right. So now I will search for the final question. Until then, I want you two to tell each other what you really think of each other before we get into the final round. I want a real knockdown, drag out, and go.
Tab? Are you there, Tab?
Yes, I'm here, Dan.
I love you. I think we have a future together, actually. I can't hide it any longer. I know we've just met, but I feel something special here. There is no hatred at all towards you.
Yeah, I really wish I could say the same, Dan, but I mean, I know we haven't met, but by the sound of your voice, it sounds like, your mama's so fat that if she went out on a beach, people from FEMA would show up to push her back into the ocean. Your mama's so fat that it takes 2 poke flutes to wake her up. I mean, it's terrible. It's just, I don't think I could ever be with a man whose mama is, has her own moon.
Oh, understandable. Poke Flute one, that was good.
Pokemon.
Yeah, that one I really like.
Okay. I do think I'm ready with the final question here.
All right.
And
bring it on, John.
This one is in the etiquette section. So here we go.
Oh dear.
My brother's friend, who is about 20 years old, just lost a significant amount of weight. However, he never expressed a desire to lose weight to any of us. So I'm wondering, would it be appropriate to tell him that he looks good? How would I even word that?
Is this a guy talking to another guy or a girl talking to a guy?
It's open to interpretation.
Okay.
Well, that makes it difficult.
All right, Dan, what say you?
I say if one of my close friends lost a significant amount of weight without seemingly have done anything like expressing that they were on a strict workout regimen or actively dieting, that fuck.
We'll come back to you. Tab.
All right.
If someone I knew lost a bunch of weight and they never seemed to have ever mentioned that they really wanted to lose weight, I'd be concerned that they might have some sort of parasitic infection that's causing the loss of tissue. I mean, not just fat, but muscle mass as well, possibly even brain material. So what I would probably do is, take them to the doctor. And I mean, they might not want to go to the doctor, so what you should really do is just, drug them ahead of time. And those drugs will probably serve as kind of a pre-treatment for whatever they use for the actual parasites. What you might even want to do is dose them with maybe, a triple dose of laxatives. Maybe they'll be able to get the parasite out that way. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to treat parasites, but I think the best way to do it is just to improvise, look around your house and see what types of chemicals you can find and just use them to the best of your ability on your brother's friend.
Yes.
So, do what you can. Do what you can.
Okay. But what if you think he actually looks good and you don't want him to gain his weight back?
Then you should probably date rape him.
Very good. Dan, have you thought of a response yet?
Nothing as entertainment as what Tap's going on about. I would say, in all seriousness, if your friend lost a bunch of weight, you should probably, most likely intentional, I would be like, hey man, you look good, obviously lost a ton of weight, and ask him how he did it. Because if he's like, oh, I have no idea, it just all came out, then I would have to say tapeworm could be definitely a real concern here.
Okay.
Otherwise, yeah, that's all I got.
All right, Dan, I will multiply your score by 13.
Okay.
And Tab, I will divide your score by .000063.
Awesome.
So I don't think I won this one then.
No, you did not.
No.
And to the fan who goes back and calculates the scores, I salute you.
You can get a life.
Yes. Which I think is impossible because there were a few rounds where I didn't actually give out numbers.
True.
So that's
right.
also open to interpretation.
Tab, you are far superior, and obviously you are the champion.
You two might be soulmates, in fact.
We might be. I don't know what you're feeling, Tab, but I get a little tickle in the cockle of my heart.
Oh dear.
Oh, Dennis Leary, oh my.
Yeah.
But no, you see, you two could be soulmates. You could do Poke battles together. Poke battle into the sunset. But yes, very good.
We can serenade each other in German.
Oh, you could. Actually, that does remind me that we do have a German commercial coming up. We'll be back after this.
Paar ist der
Das Wetter ist
beste Hund zu Fuß-Unternehmen in ganz Deutschland und sogar in Amerika. Sie haben den besten Job, meinen Hund spazieren und füttern.
Ja, ich habe Protocol Promise meinen Hund beobachten, weil ich AIDS haben.
Ja, können wir nun wieder an der Show Paar Promises.
Ja, Protocol Promise ist ganz gut, weil das Wetter ganz warm ist, aber auch habe ich AIDS.
Paar ist der Beste.
Natürlich. Ganz schön. Protocol Promise.
Ich habe einen Protocol Promise.
Alright, wasn't that a hilarious commercial that most of you didn't understand?
Ha ha ha.
Okay.
Even I didn't understand it.
Me either.
Alright, good point. Alright, so usually we end shows with recommendations, and this show is no different. So this week we will be talking about TV shows to recommend. And most of them are available on Netflix. Some of them aren't, but almost all of them are available on torrents. So
Yes, they are.
So here we go. Dan, will you please start?
Well, my first recommendation is I've been watching Hey Arnold on Netflix recently, reliving my childhood, and I have to say it is one of the better jazz soundtracks to an animated series I've ever heard. So whether you just want to relive some of your past or listen to some solid jazz, you should check out Hey Arnold again.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't remember the jazz outside the theme song, but I might have to revisit that.
I think you definitely should. I've been marathoning past week, 2 weeks.
But my favorite character from Arnold that I remember is Oscar.
Oscar Kakashka.
Betty, pretty kitty. Okay.
So that's a recommendation for you.
I might want to recommend the dub of Hey Arnold, which is online.
The dub?
I will show you the link at some point. All right, okay. Tab. What say you?
I have to recommend It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I find hilarious. People who enjoy the bizarre and possibly unpleasant humor that I have on this show will definitely enjoy It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I concur. I agree. And funny, Charlie from the show, portrayed by actor Charlie Day, was recently in the movie Horrible Bosses, playing with Jason Bateman. And he did a good job. He was pretty much the exact same character, which was fine because he's a funny character.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good show.
If I can make a YouTube recommendation?
No, that we're doing TV shows. No, go ahead.
Please.
Yes.
FPS Russia.
FPS Russia?
Yeah, if you haven't checked him out yet, I'm not sure if he's actually Russian or just a guy talking with a Russian accent, but it's a guy blowing shit up with all kinds of crazy weapons, and it's pretty hilarious.
Very nice.
Yeah, I've seen that myself. It's quite good.
I'll have to look into it.
John?
All right, my recommendation is for the show The League, which is about a group of guys who are in a fantasy football league and the extremes that they take it. But most of the show has nothing to do with football. But it's a very funny show. It's kind of in the same vein as Always Sunny in Philadelphia. A lot of absurd things happening. But one thing that I admire about the show is that they make an outline for each episode, but no script. It's almost all improvised. And it's very impressive and very funny.
Good recommendation, John.
Thank you. Are you familiar with that show?
I'm not at all, actually.
Well, it's on Netflix, so the first season, so check it out.
Does it have I feel like I've seen a preview for it. I can't think of the actor's name off the top of my head, but he was in the movie with he was like a New York Giants fan, and...
Oh, Patton Oswalt?
Yeah.
No, he's not in that show.
Okay.
I did see that movie, though. Big fan.
Was it any good?
It was okay. It was funny, then it gets dark, which is fine with me, but it's kind of a quick shift.
Okay.
But
I thought Horrible Bosses was only okay. I didn't think it was great.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was funny. I like the casting.
Yeah, I mean, the casting was fine. It just wasn't
Not a great
planned,
story, but it had some good laughs.
Yeah, the story was shaky.
Yeah, but in terms of laughability, it's up there with the funniest movies of the year so far.
Yeah, and I mean, I watch it for free, so I'm not complaining.
Okay, very good. Anyways, this has been pretty much the episode. Dan, how was your experience here?
I appreciate what you guys do because I don't think I could do it 55 times.
Well, it's been over a year since the first episode, so it's been a while.
I imagine you guys have grown and matured, and
quite the opposite, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe your ability to think on the fly has gotten better over that year, but. Yeah, I had a lot of fun, and thanks for having me on the show.
But yes, I encourage you to go back and visit our past library and note the evolution of the show.
Will do. And if anybody emails complaining about me, I would love to hear about it and be on the show to reply to that.
Okay, I'll make sure you know, and I'd love to have you on a future episode.
Sweet.
All right, so say your goodbyes, Dan.
Goodbye, world.
All right, Tab, do you have any final closing words?
No, not today.
Okay, I'll say goodbye.
See ya.
All right, I'd like to thank Dan and Tab for joining me, and I'd like to thank Jimmy for sending his email, and I'd like to thank myself because without me the show wouldn't be possible. So,
thank you, John.
Remember, you could send in your emails to podcastrevolution@gmail.com. And that's pretty much it. See you guys next time. Toodle-oo.
Oh, pants.